Today, we're talking about the three pillars of performance training that every athlete needs to understand if they want to improve as an overall athlete. It's coming up right now. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Elite Athletes TV. I'm Mike Pawlawski, former 11-year pro quarterback and quarterbacks coach here at EliteAthletesTV.com. What we do here is we try to help young athletes to improve at their game. We've got gold medalists, we've got Olympic athletes, we've got former pros that are all here to try to give you the insights, to give you the education, to give you training tips, all the tools that you need to get better at your game. So today we're talking about the three pillars of performance. And these are what every athlete needs to know, needs to understand, needs to work on to improve their game. Before I get started, make sure if you're new to the channel, if you haven't done it already, that you subscribe, ring that bell, get notified every time we have new stuff coming out. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to get started to learn about how you should train, especially if you're a young athlete, parent of an athlete, kind of understand the overall picture and how that should work out for you. And please leave me a comment down below. Any questions, happy to answer them. Finally, please share this video out. Family, teammates, friends, fans, anybody you know who you can help with these videos. That's our goal here. So if you share these out, more people we can help. Now, let's get to the three pillars of performance. What I'm going to tell you, all colleges, all pro teams, a lot of high-end club teams understand in how the athletes improve at their game. I call it the three pillars of performance because there's three different separate pieces that you need to work on as an athlete to improve within your sport. And so when you look at college teams, they will have a head coach, obviously, but a position coach for your position. They will have a strength and conditioning coach for strength and conditioning. And then they'll also have the full team unit, full team group for the team stuff and for all of that training. And so they separate these things out because they're all important in terms of the way that you learn. So I'm going to draw a graph here for you, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about in terms of the three pillars of performance. So here's my graph. This is going to be the physical side right here. This is going to be the mental side right here. And then we're going to have another line in the middle that gives you this trifecta of areas you need to improve on. And this middle line is going to be sport-specific skills. E-C-I-F-I-C, don't mind my spelling. And so you're going to need to improve in all of these areas in order to become an overall athlete. So I'm going to start the very basic, and I'm going to talk about football because I was a quarterback. If you are a young quarterback, and you want to go, you're going to start playing football. You want to improve at the game of football. Well, the easy one to start off with is the physical side. So let's say that you've never played football before and you want to start playing football, and so you get out on a football field. Well, your physical side starts to tick up because you start doing the movements, you start doing the drills, the activities that conditions your body, conditions your nervous system to be ready for football. So you elevate the physical side just by participating in the sport. Nothing mental to it yet, nothing sport specific to it, but just running around, kind of getting the conditioning in that's consistent with that type of sport. Then as you're doing that, let's say you're a quarterback and your coach starts teaching you the offense. You start learning about the snap count, learn how to call a snap count, the difference between going on one and going on two. Or you start learning some of the terminology of the offense. Say you run a wing tee and he's teaching you about 30 gut, 28 sweep, 19 boot, all of these things, okay? So you're learning terminology. Now your mental side is going up. Then at the same time you're doing all that as a quarterback, they teach you how to do drops, or they teach you how to do the run game in terms of the steps that you have to take. That is really sport specific. And so now you've picked up a little bit of football movement in terms of the conditioning for physical. You've picked up the mental, and you've got a little bit of verbiage, a little bit of terminology of your team, and you've started to learn the steps specific to your position. So now that puts you on a scale at that level where you've gotten all three of these together and you've advanced to that level. Now let's say, once again, you go on and you start doing some new conditioning drills. Let's call them plyometrics, make you more explosive, build some muscle, kind of increase your reaction time. So now you're coming way up this physical scale. But if you haven't increased the sport specific and you haven't increased the mental, you're still only as good as that last post. And so it puts you right back to here, and you've limited what you can do as an athlete in terms of development. But now let's say, along with the plyometrics, you've learned how to improve your grip as a quarterback. Well, now you're moving up that sport-specific ladder in terms of movements. And now you've improved your sport-specific skill. And then next, you learn concepts of your pass plays. Let's say you learn a triangle read. It's a concept where you're reading 3 different receivers in the same area working against 2 defenders. So now you learn that, and you've improved your mental again. And so now your advancement goes on the physical line. You've already improved because you were doing those plyos. You've added the grip to that, and now you've got that mental to go with it as well. So you're becoming a more full quarterback. You're understanding the game better. You're improving your overall fitness for football. And so that's the goal here. A lot of kids, when they start out, they love improving the physical skills, right? Love running around, love increasing their strength, their speed, all those things. But the mental game, it's a little bit boring. They don't grab onto it. Or coaches don't know how to teach it as well at that level because they don't have the concepts, they don't have the tools to teach it at that level. And so it's indicative as an athlete or as a parent for you to go out and seek that mental training, to understand what's going on, to be on the same page with your coaches, to learn. So let's take the next step as a quarterback. Now we've gone from just the physical of we've got the plyos, right? We've got a little bit of conditioning. Now we're increasing our speed. So, and speed's a big one, right? No substitute for speed. So you come way up that physical ladder in terms of speed. In terms of a quarterback now, you're throwing the football, but you've improved your passing mechanics to become way more consistent. So that puts you way up the scale here. Now you become an accurate passer. Your arm has gotten stronger. Your ability to deliver the ball where you want it, when you want it, is improving because your passing mechanics have improved so much. And so now you've become a much better quarterback because you can throw the football, which is, after all, your job as a quarterback. And then on top of that, you've learned how to read defenses. So now you've brought your game well up. And so now your overall potential as an athlete goes way up this line. And so you can see with each step that you take up the physical, when you combine it with a step in the mental and you combine it with a step in the sport specific, you get better and more well-rounded. Now, a lot of quarterbacks will get stunted. They'll find an area they just like to throw. They just want to go out and throw the football. That's it. Just that. All they do is throw. And so, yeah, you're improving sport specific, but you're getting out of balance. And I'll tell you, I have quarterbacks that I work with, and I can see them from time to time that they'll get out of balance because all they want to do is throw. So when they're not around the field, they're not working out, they're not lifting weights, they're just throwing, and they get focused on that. I've done this as an athlete. I've done it with the athletes that I train because it's so much fun to be out there throwing. But I always have to remember in my mind, nope, we've got to do a more well-rounded athlete. So today with my quarterbacks, we did trunk work. We were doing core training. We were trying to improve the imbalances and improve the whole athlete, the physical side, the sport-specific side, and the mental side. And so I always try to train the mental side every time we're out with quarterbacks. We work on recognizing coverages, seeing if it's a split safety, rotation, what it is. We talk about reads, keys, hots, all that within our pass concepts. And we work the sport specific in quarterbacks. And then we also train a lot of the physical stuff. So next step, maybe you're getting in the weight room now, right? You've hit high school, you're lifting weights, you're getting stronger, you're doing all the things you need to do to improve your posterior chain, which is going to help you big time as a quarterback, as a sprinter, as an athlete to be stable and to be bulletproof in terms of injuries. Now, as you move up that for the sport specific stuff, you've learned pocket footwork, right? So you've got your passing mechanics, you've got your great grip, you've got your understanding of the offense. You know now how to move around in the pocket. You're becoming a full quarterback. And then on the mental side of the game, you're understanding how to audible within the concepts that you've learned, within the plays that you've learned, within all the terminology that you've learned. You learn how that all works together and you put it all together. And so now you've really advanced as a quarterback and you become a more well-rounded picture, more well-rounded player at the position. And so you can see the goal here is to continue learning at every single level, to continue making yourself a well-rounded athlete, no matter what your sport is. For basketball, we could talk about it in terms of learning how to dribble and shooting free throws, understanding zone defense versus man defense, understanding the pick and roll for the mental side of it. Every sport has their mental game. Every sport has their sport-specific stuff. Every sport has physical, and a lot of the physical crosses over from sport to sport. When people are trying to tell you that you need to do your sport-specific training, most of the training that's out there is not sport specific. You want to do stuff that makes you an overall athlete. So remember, that's how you improve. Your goal is to become a well-rounded athlete on every phase of the game. So while you're working on physical, you want to work on sport specific, you want to work on mental. And like I said, all the college programs understand this. That's why they have a weight room, a strength and conditioning coach, a human performance coach. They have individual specific position coaches, team coaches to kind of teach all of this stuff together. So you can work it within a group, within a unit, right? A quarterback might listen to an offensive line coach to understand pass protections. And you all work together. It takes a village to make a quarterback. And it's the same for any sport. As you're growing up, understand that. And of course, take care of the other stuff that you have to. Grades are key. Home life behavior are key. So all those things, being a good citizen is absolutely essential as well. But in terms of sport, this is the 3 pillars of sports training performance. It's what you need to learn, what you need to understand, what you need to focus on as you're getting better. If you like what I did here today, make sure you subscribe, ring that bell. I'm trying to help you with the mental side of the game as an athlete. We'll show you the physical side. We'll show you the concept side and some position-specific stuff as a quarterback, and our other athletes will train you on those as well. Give us a thumbs up if you're ready to train, to learn, to get better, to improve. Comment down below. Love to hear from you. What's your sport? What's your training hold up? Where are you excelling at training? Let us know down below. Love to hear from you. Appreciate you guys sticking around for this long. You guys are studs for being here. You want to get better at the game. You want to be that great athlete that you can be, and I can appreciate that. We're all about sports performance training, quarterback training, whatever your sport is, helping you become a better athlete. I appreciate you watching, and I'll talk to you again next time.